Okay, I wanted to just do a short video kind of going through the test a little bit. I'm not going to go through everything, but I did want to go over some commonly missed things. So I'm starting at the part 2, the chord function construction. So first, always, make sure you pay attention to the clef. A lot of people miss the bass clef here. So just make sure you write the key signature properly here for C minor. And then I mentioned this even maybe as you were taking the test, I think. But you got to remember that when we're in a minor key, the major 5 chord is not diatonic. What that means is the flats that you're, or sharps, that you're in the key signature are not going to give you normally a major 5. So if you're going to have that major 5, it's from harmonic minor. So you go to the 5th note of the scale, which is G, obviously. Then you build the 5 chord, but right now this is G, B flat, D, because there's a B flat here, which makes it a minor 5. You got to make it a major 5 because it's a capital V, and you got to put the natural here. This is a very important step that several people missed, and the same is true for the B minor. So we're back to treble clef now, so B minor has 2 sharps. Make sure you write those properly here. The 7 diminished and the 5 are both harmonic minor chords, which means they have the leading tone in them. The leading tone of B is A sharp, which is not in the key signature. So you got to start on A, because that's the 7th of the scale. And when you build the A, C, E, this right now is A, C sharp, E, which, because the C sharp's here, that's a major 7, which is the natural minor. Since it's the diminished, you've got to sharp this leading tone. Some people tried to start with A natural and then natural the C and flat the E, but that's not what actually gets sharped to make the 7 diminished. You got to get the leading tone. And the same is true with the 5 chord. This is F sharp, A, C sharp diatonically from the key signature. In order to make it, again, that major 5, you've got to include the leading tone. So please make sure that in harmonic minor chords, major 5, diminished 7 are the common ones, and then obviously augmented 3 as well. You got to put the leading tone in there. Okay, so for part 3, a lot of people miss these 2 questions as well. The 3 notes that we have here are A flat, C, F flat, and then C again. So we have the C doubled. So obviously this is not an A, C, E chord because it's F flat. Okay, even though that sounds like E, it's not the way we would actually write this, although you could say that this is also the same quality because, again, it can't be inverted from an aural standpoint. But when we put it in root position visually, we get F flat, A flat, C. F flat to A flat is a major 3rd. A flat to C is a major 3rd. F flat to C is an augmented 5th, which makes this an augmented triad. A flat, C, F flat, C. Augmented quality there. Okay, so then this is asking not just for quality, but for function. Chord 2 here, we have 2 A flats, that's doubled, and we have E flat, and we have C. So this would be A flat, C, E flat. A flat, C, E flat is a major triad. So that means right away, because A flat to C, we've got that major 3rd, C to E minor 3rd. That's a major chord. So you can eliminate choice A, which I don't think anybody did. But now you have to decide, is this going to be a 4 in D flat major? So is A flat the subdominant note of D major? Or is it the 6th of C minor? Or is it the 5 of E flat? So the 5 in E flat major would be a B flat chord, so that's not it. When we have D, we would have the D flat major. Okay, that would be G flat, would be the root here. So the answer has got to be the major 6 in C minor. Okay, this one, the hardest question of this was the resolution of part of 6. But I just wanted to kind of go through these really quickly with you. G, B, D, F. G, B, D, F. That's a 5/7 in the key of C. but that would be a 5-6-5 because the third of the chord is in the bass. So that's measure 3 was number 4. Arpeggios, obviously, these are just all chords. This is the harmonic rhythm of a whole note. So the chord is the same for every measure. Okay, so there's the 5-6-5 there. And then this is A, C, E. That's a 6 with the C in the bass. That's a 6-6. So that's measure 5 is where we find that chord. Okay, so then when you look at measure 6, we have the C and we have the F sharp. That gives us the tritone. Tritones must resolve out. The F sharp needs to go up, which in this case, we're leading that F sharp up by half step to G. And the C needs to lead downward by half step to B. So that tritone needs to resolve out, and that gives us a GB, and then we get this common tone D. That's where the resolution would be. So this is a GBD chord. Okay, so it's a G major triad, so you can eliminate this, and you can eliminate this. This is a D, F sharp, A, C, which is a major minor quality, which always implies dominant function. Now, this is not dominant function in the original key. It's dominant function in the key of G, so that's what we're resolving. But because we have the 7th in the bass, the C, which is the 7th, is in the bass, it's 4-2. So that means we have to resolve this to a 1-6, a 5-4-2 chord. Because of that, those tendency tones and where they have to resolve, it has to go to a 1-6 because they have to resolve by half step. So that's how you know it's first inversion and not root position. It's because you have to resolve that C down by half step to B, which is the third of the G chord. All right. Make sure that you are really aware of the inversion. This is F major, which all of you got. This is a 1 chord. Some of you try to put a 1-6-4 here, but the bass note, the lowest note is still F, so that's still a 1. This is the chord 3 right here is F, A, C. It's still a 1 chord, but now it's 1-6. Be careful because this is, some of you wrote a 4 chord here, but a 4 chord would be B flat, D, F. Right? Because this is not an F, that's a G. So this is actually a G, B flat, D. This is a 2 chord because in the key of F major, G is the 2nd, and the 2nd of the scale, the supertonic function. So B flat is the 3rd of the chord, which is in the root, so that's a 2-6. A 2-6 and a 4 chord are very, very similar. They're only 1 note different, and the difference is that we have this G instead of the F. Then this is F, A, C with the C in the bass. FAC is the tonic, which means that's a cadential 6-4 chord. It's setting up the 5-1 cadence, which we call authentic cadence. Most of you did actually pretty well on the identification of notes. We struggled a little bit with part 5, question 5 rather, on the quality. So I gave you an F sharp, and there was the chord that I played for you. So that was chord 1, which I have labeled here as A. So this is a F sharp, up a minor 3rd, up a major 3rd. That's a minor triad with a minor 2nd on the top. So those notes would be F sharp, A, C sharp, D. There's a minor 2nd at the top, which in inversion, your seconds aren't so hard to hear. So that D is the root. The quality then would be, because minor, minor, a minor triad with a minor 2nd on the top is a major, major 6-5. Because we got the 6th and the 5th here at the top, that minor 2nd's on the top of the chord. So this is a D, major, major 6-5. All right, so for chord 2, I gave you a D flat, and then I played these notes. We have a major 3rd, and then a minor 2nd in the middle. So that minor 2nd tells you right away that it's a major, major 7 chord, because you hear a minor 2nd, which is the inversion of a major 7th, and then you get the major 3rd on top. So that would be D flat, F, G flat, there's that minor 2nd, B flat, would be the 4 notes. So G, B, D, F, that would be the root position. So G flat, B flat, D flat, F, major triad, major 7th. So this would be a G flat, major, major, and then because we have the D flat in the bass, root, 3rd, fifth, seventh. The fifth is in the bass, so that would be 4, 3. All right, so both those were major, major. And then finally, the alto clef was the hardest one for sure because it's alto clef plus it just is harder for people with G sharp being the root because that's kind of a weird chord. But we have B on the bottom. We have a major triad with a major second on top. So when you have a major, major, major triad with a major second on top, that would be B, D sharp, F sharp, and then we had the G sharp on the top. That's actually the root. Because the minor triad with that, that major triad with the major second inverts to minor, minor, 6, 5. And the root would be that G sharp. So this was G sharp, minor, minor, 6, 5. Remember, I know we just learned this, so I totally get why people miss this, but right here we have D, F, A, which is a 1 chord, minor, and D minor, and then we have a D, G, B flat. That is a 4 chord, but it's a 6, 4. And the bass note is the same. Okay, common tones. So that's a pedal 6, 4. Pedal note is when we have that bass note stays the same. Do, me, so, me, do, fa, le, fa, do, me, so, me, do. So that's a pedal 6, 4. Most of you got number 10. And finally, the melodic dictation question was this. 1, 2, and 3, and 1. So trying to hear the rhythm separately from the solfege is always what I recommend. So those first 2 measures, 1 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Some of us struggled with the rhythm but got the pitches right, and some people got the pitches right or wrong but got the rhythm correct. So just make sure you separate those out in your brain when you're listening. 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 3 and 1. So there's the rhythm. 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 3 and 1. The solfege, do, mi, so, la, so, fa, mi. Those are stepwise. So, la, so, fa, mi. There's the 5/7 chord. Da, 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 dum. Back to do, fa, re, ti, so, do. So, do, the tonic note is E flat. That was already given. Mi and so, dum, bum, bum, do, mi, so. That's a tonic triad. That would be here. And then just add the rhythm. Dotted quarter, 8th quarter. So, la, so, fa, mi, B flat. Up a step to C, down to B flat, A flat, G. Then add the rhythm. Fa, re, ti, so. So if do is here, and that's what we end with the dotted half note. Fa would be the F. Fa, re, the supertonic note would be, A flat, F, D, B flat. So that's A flat, F, D, B flat. And there's the answer. 2, 3, off. So hopefully that is helpful to understand what you got wrong and get those skills improved for the next time we test. Have a great break, everyone, and we'll see you on Monday.